Good evening and welcome back to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Due to some technical difficulties, our scene disconnected, so we will pick up where we left off at the stairs of the Faeries. Or the
We had
group
just gone up
had
and
just got
scared Rat with a knife.
the group has just reached what they thought was the top of the stairs, only to discover that the stairs continue up to some sort of castle.
Yeah, if I recall, it sounded like there's some kind of party going on in there.
Yes, there's some sort of social event happening inside. You can hear carousing and whatnot.
And of course, that knife.
Abby doesn't see people behind her, so she's just continuing up the stairs, as was.
No, she doesn't hear anything.
John, I'm going to attempt to try to text Abby to ask her to look back and notice the big knife.
Okay.
Oh, see, I say big knife, but it's only like maybe 3-4 inches, and it doesn't even look like it's for combat. It's like a very shiny, elaborate, ornate. It's almost like a prop weapon, you would say. Like it could cut, but
Am I able to text Abby?
You do not get a signal.
Shit. She's going to start following up after Abby.
Just let me know when Abby sees someone or something.
Well, as you get closer, you can see like the main doors in to this castle. They do.
Wait a sec. Sorry.
So the main doors are open. You don't see anyone inside from here.
She will keep moving forward.
All right. As you get closer, you can see people inside sitting at tables feasting and drinking and partying, and there's music, and which your phone notifies you, hey, there's music playing.
Abby's gonna stop, look back.
she's not actually pointing the knife at anyone. It's pointed down. Her head is bowed, but her eyes are open, and she's stating a prayer of, "Oh, mistress of darkness and death, please keep us all safe upon this journey."
Abby's gonna look at Rat. And then look back towards where the people she doesn't know are. She's taken note of the danger behind her, but she is more worried about the multiple people that could be dangerous in front of her.
Air is also behind. She came up the stairs last, so at least you know.
I can't escape if I make a move.
Right. Air is watching up the stairs. See, notices under down here, any ruckus, if anybody's coming out of this building.
Abby is gonna feed directly through what she's seeing in the room through the pack link to those who are present.
Okay.
So you can see a room full of people eating and celebrating.
Right, so I was right. We're going to be crashing a party. Do the stairs only go to this particular building, or are there other ways?
There's lawn around them, but the stairs and the pathway just kind of lead directly to the building.
Okay.
Valkyrie has moved up to join Abby and Rat now, by the way.
I think Rat was still behind you.
No, he
No,
was
I'm
behind.
behind her.
Rat
Air
was
is behind
Abby.
Valkyrie, and Rat was behind Abby. Valkyrie was kind of in between Rat and Air.
John, what is the season like? What is it? Is it like sunny? Is it dark? What does the atmosphere look like around this building?
It is. It's cool, but it's light out. Almost kind of a springtime type feel to it.
Okay.
So Rat is her interest is peaked now. She's going to start approaching the building.
No one is outside?
You don't see anyone outside, no.
Are there any whispers here, John?
No.
Valkyrie is looking around very confused. This is wrong. This is unnatural, is all she says.
Unnatural, you say?
There's no whispers. There's always whispers.
All right. You say so.
Yeah. So John, I'm going to take a look. What's like when I get to near the door? I'm going to take a look around, see is there anything unusual, or is it just normal building? And then
It's a castle. That's unusual already.
do they have a ornate door knocker at all?
The doors are
Doors
open.
That's what Abby's standing
doors
there
are
looking
open.
in. Yeah.
Air is gonna try to kind of can I roll something like intelligence, umbra lore, spirit lore, something?
I would allow a Umbra lore.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about rolling this occult and esoterics.
So it's what's the diff?
It's going to be an 8.
Okay.
For both of us?
Not a.
I didn't catch what you were rolling, Jess.
I said I was gonna make a occult I can't
Esoterica.
talk tonight. Yes.
Let's see. You could actually do a cosmology at Diff 7.
That's right, I could. I forgot I had cosmology.
Occult or Esoterica would be a Diff 8. So
I'm gonna do cosmology with my occult then.
And while she rolls, can I do one for etiquette? Because it's a party. Like proper etiquette for joining this party.
yeah, if you want, that's fine. It's going to be a Diff. Well, given you don't know the circumstances here or what the normal etiquette would be, I'm going to say it's a Diff 8. But you're kind of trying to piece it together from what you can see.
Perfect.
One success,
John,
John.
Alright, so I had Air was not successful on her
Nope.
deductions. Valkyrie with 1 success, you would know you are in some sort of chimerical realm.
She inhales deeply. Not good. I don't know how to deal with this. Fucking chimerical is all she's muttering.
Would problem solver play into as a specialty for this?
Yes.
Then I have 2 successes.
Alright. With 2 successes, you will know that you will know at least the proper methods to introduce yourself, which would be to declare your name, your lineage, and ask permission to join or to enter the house. Or at least that some approximation thereof would be acceptable.
Abby glances back. So are we joining the party or are we going to Costa? If you would like to join, I can handle that situation. It is not a problem. We will be welcomed as friends. Oui? No? Merci. And then she looks down at her phone.
Oh,
I said she
John,
looks
am I
down.
feeling
we're here.
am I feeling queasy at all? Do I feel like, you know, do I have a bad feeling about this?
I mean, you're in front of a freaking castle in an unknown place, and you're not entirely sure how it happened. So, imagine
I
this guy.
was talking more about my merit.
Danger sense? You have that? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah, I have danger sense, and I'm just wondering if I'm just getting if I feel just I don't know, feel odd about it. Besides normal oddness.
I wouldn't say so. There's not any blatant danger present.
Okay. That's all I need to know. I'm game for going in.
We should play nice with them. They're quite tricky.
Yeah.
Who's quite tricky?
I mean, with a mansion and a strange land, they're tricky.
You
An answer. She's like trying to get a signal now.
Yeah, but you said some strange word not too long ago.
I heard it too.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything.
I may be poor,
So we're
but I'm
both
not
hearing
stupid.
things.
Yeah.
Don't you always hear things?
No.
No.
Oh, I hear things everywhere and anywhere I go. The world never shuts up.
It would be nice to hear things. And Abby gets a very sad look before she just kind of stands up straight from her stealthy position and starts walking towards the door to make the announcement.
As they follow Abby, I guess, she'll mutter,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always nice.
Here we'll straighten herself up.
I was never crouching, so
I mean, she stands up straight. And she'll keep to the rear.
All right.
And Abby will take a step or two inside the doors. And kind of stamp her foot twice because she's thinking like medieval
Okay.
now presenting kind of thing.
Sure.
Because her closest correlation is like medieval stuff, so that's kind of what she's thinking.
Okay.
And she says, "Bonjour, I am Abitudo, orphan child of the human world. I would like permission to join this revelry with my companions." And she's going to give a kind of deep bow at that point.
All right. One of the women there's a quite well dressed woman at the head table who stands and gestures, and she says, "I see a few more visitors have found their way to us. Seems the gates are opening sooner than anticipated. By all means, come in, join us, celebrate."
Merci beaucoup.
In a very low whisper, she's going to say to Rat and Ear, don't eat or drink anything from them.
Thank you.
Abby is going to head in and look for the open seat closest to that head table.
All right.
Even if it's just a single seat. And if there's actually a seat open at that head table, she's going to go and sit there.
There is one there. There's another woman who's there who looks to be newer to the area.
Yeah, that's the seat Abby's gonna go sit in.
All right.
Air's eyes are kind of darting around. Like, is there any sign of Fiona?
She is sitting up at the head table.
Okay, I must have missed that.
Brad's just going to make a motion for the other two to pass first.
Oh, yeah.
Valkyrie is going to enter and not really take a seat, but she's going to stand nearby towards, like, against the wall.
Yeah, Air is kind of in the same boat. Sure, how to feel about this place.
All right.
Is there any food or drink at this seat?
They do. They have. They're kind of sending around plates and stuff. So there's food and beverage available.
Because Abby's gonna need some liquid courage for what she's about to do.
There's like they got food and drink in one corner. There is a looks like a band playing, and then they've got a number of people who are kind of dancing in where some tables have been moved aside.
So John, Rat's curiosity is going to get the best of her. She's going to, instead of stepping inside, she's going to walk around the building just to look at the architecture.
Okay.
To see if maybe those strange symbols she saw on the stairs might be on this building.
All right. Me a perception investigation.
Sure. That's the difficulty.
It'll be a standard.
Okay. I have one success.
Air is just keeping an eye on Abby, being as she has taken a seat.
How far is Abby's seat from Fiona?
Just a couple seats away.
Does she have somebody sitting on each side of her?
She's at like a corner, so there's no one to her right, but then there's someone around the corner of the table.
She's just gonna like ask who they are. Bonjour, who are you? I don't think I have seen you here before.
A couple of them look at you and one of them says, I don't believe we've seen you, and we attend regularly. As the good lady makes it a point to always invite the two of us. And he gestures, he says, "This is my brother, Morgan. I am Mordred."
Mordred and Morgan. That reminds me of a folk tale I heard once. What one was it? I think it was one of those English ones. It is very hard to translate into a readable language like French. English is just so messy.
He
But
chuckles and says, "I know the tale. It heavily distorted now, but I did duel with my father."
wait, that was you? It is an honor to meet such a person. So what is distorted about this tale? It was about the sword, right?
Well, that's where a lot of the distortion comes in. There's variations in which I attempt to usurp his kingdom or take his sword. Many different options, some in which I was set up to betray him. Others, they claim it was a fluke. The truth is, it was a deliberate duel, entered into honorably. And, as are all things, it seems a bit silly in hindsight. But it was a border dispute over some lands that he had given me.
Oh. Wait, was not the Morgan your mother? No? You say she is your sister?
Yes, well, there again is some of the distortion. That Morgan is in fact my sister. It was, of course, the common belief and mentality: if a woman is involved, she is either a witch, a bed maiden, or must be someone's mate. The idea that a woman could be an independent individual in the story was foreign.
That is so interesting. Because I think in the story they kind of make her to be all of those things. So she is not into the magic to be a witch, no?
She looks at you and she says, "I am a artist. I weave, I craft, I sing." But for a woman to do those things and be unmarried, especially at a young age,
she must be very smart. That is what she must be.
well, the old mentality didn't agree.
The old mentality is what holds many of us back these days, we?
Perhaps. We've always had a certain respect for culture and individual capability here. The court here is led by a lady.
That is wonderful. And what is the lady's name? I somehow do not remember. I am having the memory not connecting. Her name was Lady. Goodness, what is her name?
Yeah, she kind of chuckles and says, "Well, that's possible. That's you know, when you have many names as she does, people tend to forget."
That must be what it is then.
She is often called the Winter Lady, Some tales name her as Mab, Queen of Ice. Then she kind of shakes her head and she says, "The tales written by those Grimm brothers did such disservice to..."
They made a lot of things that were not human, scary and evil. And they, especially when it was a woman of power, they made them into monsters to be feared. I think it was part of the whole Christianization of society, which I personally look very much down on. But that is just me. Oui.
She just kind of says, "Well, it's as any other tale, I suppose, but it is disappointing to see such a wondrous leader slandered."
Here, here. And she's gonna grab her drink and stand up on her chair and shout, "A toast to Queen Mab, the Winter Queen, for her kindness and generosity in this party. Let her name not be besmirched by those who are unwise to the ways of this world." And then she's gonna take a drink.
And those around you kind of raised a toast with you for that.
As they're doing their toast, or any of the missing mages Aaron was talking about here? Or do I need to roll for that, John?
No one that he mentioned missing would be here. No.
Okay.
And you have not met Fiona, so you wouldn't recognize her. Air would recognize her as sitting at the table and drinking with the rest of them.
I will give pause and let people do stuff real quick if they want. Otherwise, I will continue my endeavors.
I mean, the only
John,
other... Go ahead.
I'm just gonna, John. I got one success on checking out, seeing if they had any symbols, anything about the building, because I'm walking my way around it.
You do not don't see any signs of any other fonts or anything.
Do they have anything outside the building, or is it just the building?
I mean, they have a lot of shrubbery that's been very ornately carved, that sort of thing.
Okay.
If Rat passes by me in her search, Valkyrie is going to whisper, "Did you guys find your friend here yet? We need to leave soon."
I think Rat was outside.
Yeah, but I figured Rat was the closest since they're moving around.
It's fair.
Well, Red's still on the outside. I mean, I haven't entered in the building yet. I'm at the doorway.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Air definitely recognizes Fiona. And what did James say? She'd been like gone, like disappeared.
Yeah, it had been
Correct.
a couple days that she'd been gone.
A couple days. Okay. Air's just gonna kind of casually walk around the room and way to hopefully not take notice from anyone else, but to try to get to go chat with Fiona.
Well, people are going to notice since she's at the head table.
Isn't she at the end though?
She's in the middle of it.
Well, she's on
Oh.
that corner, so she'd be
Okay.
she'd be at one end.
Yeah, she's gonna kind of just try to casually make her way towards Fiona.
Abby's going to, as she hops down from her chair with her glass in hand, she's going to give a very French goodbye, the kiss on each cheek to the two she's been talking to, and step around towards Fiona herself.
All right. So you guys both get up near Fiona. Fairly easy.
Bonjour, madame. And you are Fiona, oui?
She just looks and says, "Well, that's yes, I've been called by that before." Then she turns and she says, "But here, of course, a different matter."
What shall I call you while we are here then, madame?
She turns and she says, "Here, I am the lady of the circle. For that is what our queen has dubbed me."
I see, and just out of curiosity, your friend James is very concerned you've been gone for so long. Will you be staying long, or...?
She turns and says, "James, I'm surprised he's up from his nap. It's only been a brief couple hours."
It has been days,
12
at the very
hours.
least. Outside of here.
She looks at you and says, "I believe you are mistaken. I distinctly remember coming just before dinner. We dined and they've danced briefly."
Air kind of looks at Fiona, then at Abby, and back to Fiona. Oh,
Abby pulls and flips
James
to...
said that you've been gone for a couple of days.
Abby's gonna flip her phone so that she can see the time and date that auto updates on phones.
Right. And yeah, and yours would be whatever it had been when it last synced. Before
Which
you
was just
came
before I
in.
got here, yep.
Right. Then she looks and kind of leans in close and she goes, That can't be right."
I have heard sometimes, am I right, there when you're in different places, things go different, we know?
She just kind of says, I guess.
She's looking at Ira when she says that.
Absolutely possible. It's said that time can shift differently in different places, especially those that are on Earth.
So, Fiona, I believe I was hoping for a dance with you.
I don't dance.
Then I would love a
Yeah.
dance with you. Oui? Lady of the Circle, would you dance with me?
She kind of looks and says, "Well, of course, I haven't had a chance to dance yet as I was just finishing dinner, so it will be perfect."
Wonderful.
Is anybody looking at them strangely or taking particular notice?
You can give me a perception empathy.
Okay.
Valkyrie's paranoid, watching everyone at the moment.
John, when I
Standard
made that
diff, I
test, on,
assume.
Yes, standard diff.
John, when I
Or
made that test around the
successes.
building,
Alright, two people were talking there. I didn't follow what either of you said. I think one of them was Rat.
yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, Rat.
I was just going to ask, when Rat went around the building, were there any other entrances to this beyond a front door?
The hall doesn't seem to have any other doors here. There's plenty of nice stained glass windows, but just the one door.
Okay.
Alright, and then Air had 4
Four
successes.
successes.
The lady at the head of the table has kind of glanced over a couple times, but nothing blatant. No one seems terribly interested. Everybody's just kind of socializing and
Okay. Air will give Abby a nod and enjoy your dance. And she'll smile and start walking back towards the area of the room that she came from, towards Valkyrie.
Who is keeping the wall to her back
Yeah.
as she watches
And,
the others?
will kind of look at Valkyrie and motion with her head to follow her outside.
She'll kind of glance at like Abby and be like motioned with her head kind of at Abby, but follow.
Once outside, she'll be out in a minute.
Can she handle that many on her own?
I don't think she plans on taking that many people.
I wouldn't really call them people if my guess is correct.
You're probably right. I think she intends on dancing her way out the door.
Well,
The lady she's dancing with is Fiona, who's MIA.
well, I'm glad you found your friend. Seeing how flexed you guys are, she'll put her knife back in her bag, but she'll start like twisting the ring on her finger.
And while they're outside, Air kind of just keeps glancing towards the door. Watching for Abby.
Alright.
Does Abby have to do anything to pretend to be comfortable dancing with another woman? Close enough that she can talk to her? Somewhat privately?
No, I would say you'll probably need wits and manipulation subterfuge or wits and subterfuge to actually have the conversation.
Okay. Okay, so I have 2 successes. Wonderful. Hopefully I get a conversation. She's gonna whisper, "It is not particularly safe here. Do not bother responding. I cannot hear what you are saying. But we are going to waltz our way out the front door. Oui? No? Just give me a small nod."
She kind of smiles around the room, but does give you a little nod.
Then Abby's gonna start waltzing her towards that doorway.
Alright, I'm going to have you give me a dexterity and etiquette or performance.
I will take etiquette because I have 0 performance.
That's fair.
I have no successes.
All
It's
right.
a failure.
Oh no.
Not a botch, but just a failure.
So there are definitely a couple of people looking at you. You're not very graceful about it. Fiona kind of picks up the slack a little bit for you and helps guide you to the door and steps out with you. So you guys are out on the stone path.
Can she see the way to the stairs out?
Yeah, the path leads straight to the stairs.
And she is going to take and kind of usher Fiona ahead of her towards that, which hopefully that's where Ire and them are waiting.
Yep.
She's going to make sure that she goes, kind of keeping an eye on people behind her, seeing if anybody's coming after them.
Nobody seems to really be pursuing. He's Fiona's kind of looking at you a little strangely, and then she says to, I'm assuming the other ones are going with you guys. She'll recognize Air and ask where you guys are going.
Deer Park.
She says, well, we can go back there anytime. It'll be there. We haven't even finished serving dessert yet.
You've already been gone for 2 days.
Well, it's only been a meal here.
Hi. She like looks at Ear. Lady Fiona, I believe. Looking between her and Ear. If you want something sweet, and she'll pull out her thermos, which John knows what this is for. This is the sweetest thing you could ever drink. And she'll offer it to her.
She kind of looks and says, "Well, I suppose one drink to cleanse the palate before dessert." And she'll take it.
Which that is her tool that's infused for her life.
Right.
Which is basically her channeling for healing of health and status.
So that would be a Arte roll, life 3, so difficulty 6. Roll your Arte at diff 6.
Alrighty. Can I spend a willpower on this?
Yes, you can spend will. You can spend quintessence to lower the difficulty. Actually, yours would lower by 1 simply because you're using your thermos.
Alright, so I will go ahead and spend quintessence to lower this. So that is art is 2. So art, life is 3, 4, 5. Alright.
You roll just your Arte.
My art, okay. Difficulty is lowered by 1.
So it would be 5.
Okay. 2 successes.
Alright, well, that was physically she was already healthy, but you can kind of see her get a little more robust and less kind of lethargic a little bit, and she starts to after the drink she says, "I suppose we should let James know how things are going, and you can always come back for dessert. It'll be here. Sure, I'll be back shortly."
What are they serving for dessert?
I'm not sure what it was going to be today.
Yeah.
They discussed a couple of different options: scones, pastries, pies.
Abby glances back towards the dining area.
And they seem to continue to be milling about, although a couple of them do glance towards the door, and one, Mordred, actually waves.
Abby will wave at him and
Rat's gonna start heading down the path to the stairs.
Well, shall we then?
Yes, please.
She'll follow down the stairs. She does look back a couple times, but continues with you guys.
Abby will be the last one down.
Take up the rear.
I believe Abby said she's going to take up the rear, so we're traveling in a
No,
line.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I said I was taking up the rear.
Apparently everybody's walking in back.
Except for a rat, she's in front. She's taking the lead, going down the
Right.
stairs.
Valkyrie was just trying to stick close to Fiona, who seems like she would run back at any moment.
Well, that was part of the reason why I was like, I'm going to take up the rear, because if anything happens, I'm probably the most physically capable of dealing with that kind of storm.
All right, so you guys do get back down the stairs.
Is it? Are we
Soon-
actually where we're supposed to be?
Yeah, as you get down the stairs, it does kind of shift back to the fairyland itself.
Is it still nighttime or is it a different time of day?
It actually seems earlier in the night than when you left.
Odd.
Oh boy. Is James still there?
He does come around the corner and he kind of jumps a little bit when he sees you.
How long will we be gone?
He kind of looks back. He goes, "How'd you get in here with the gates closed?"
What?
Well, after you disappeared last night, I couldn't be letting people in and keep coming in and out if people are going to go missing. And nobody saw you leave the park, so I assumed
Well,
you had pulled a Harry Houdini on me.
There was no hair
we
involved.
came in. We came in the same way we left.
Yeah, just kind of looks at you, and he kind of says, "Well, that's my point. I don't know how you left. I
We
asked."
just went upstairs to the castle.
He looks and he kind of looks down and he goes, "I'm the one with a pouch full of mushrooms. You're the one talking about a castle up a set of stairs that doesn't go anywhere."
Pulls the thermos back out and goes, "Would you like a drink?"
He says, "I don't know that I want anything that you're offering. I've seen some strange stuff, but telling me there's a castle up a flight of broken stairs in my park."
Would you like me to go and disappear again and then come
Very
back
well.
to prove it?
He turns and he starts rubbing his forehead and he goes,
Stay here, I will be right back. And Abby goes right back up the stairs.
"All right."
Valkyrie's just done at this moment. She's going to go to wherever the whispers are the loudest and just begin praying for those who have passed.
Wherever the whispers are loudest, there's some where they're almost screaming. You can't hear anything else here.
At those, she'll stop, she'll cover her ears, turn back, walk back towards Rad and them. This whole place needs a priest, is all she says.
James chuckles and says, "If you knew how many priests of how many different faiths pass through here, you'd be amazed."
I wasn't kidding when I when I said this place was full of unsolved mysteries.
You just let them stay and scream like that?
He gestures down one of the lanes and he says, "Well, down the way there in that ash tree is where the young man cut out his eye and hung himself. Stabbed on a spear.
What young man?
Back that way is where a man was stabbed with a dagger and hung on a tree for time uncounted.
She half smiles at the bit about the man hanging in the tree, the one that cut his eye out, and then she kind of sighs at the mention of the other.
He says, back that way stalks the last remaining Jarl from time to time.
Valkyrie is doing a form of meditative breathing now and muttering, "Do not cleanse it with fire." Look, wouldn't it just be safer to just smash the stairs and go on your way? I mean, after your friend Abby gets back.
I don't know. This place,
So Valkyrie,
often tends to be a place,
It's a loud place. Yeah.
James says, in my experience, smashing mystical objects when they appear is a poor decision.
whoa, hold the bus here for a second. You said this is a mystical object, yet you don't believe there's a castle in the sky. Now, I'm seeing hypocrisy here somewhere.
When ruins appear out of nowhere, they are clearly mystical objects.
Text mage friends and Engel, well, Angel, is this James guy at the park one of the celebrants?
Engel texts back, he might be one of the few who knows as much herbcraft as I do. Although, he specializes in different herbs.
One of us or not.
Well, that's, I suppose, subjective, but if you mean does he warp reality, yes. Although, then again, so did the Cheshire Cat, so take that as you will.
All I needed to know. And she seems to just relax right between Rat and Ear. Now that I know you're trustworthy, she says, pointing at James, I take it these three, well, 4, and motions towards where Abby went, are also.
He shrugs and says he hadn't met any of them before last night when they got here.
Tricky. She like looks at Rat. Then how do we know this lady didn't make this a come?
Are you saying I'm the one who brought the stairs?
Telling us, Rat? Like,
I'm sorry, I was listening to Beastie Boys in my head after someone kept saying tricky.
You're doing, Rat?
I don't know. Hold on, fill me in. What am I missing? I was listening. Sorry, music through the head here. What are you accusing me of?
If James and I barely know you, how do we know the stairs aren't your guys' fault?
Very much doubt that they're our fault.
Yeah, I mean, this is really sound conspiracy theory here. What the hell?
This place tends to be, what I've noticed, the place you go to solve things, for lack of better wording.
At
That's
that
good.
point, James notices Fiona, and as Fiona says, This is supposed to be a place more in touch with the other sides. Place where the fables are given form.
Wait. Are you saying then I could run into Little Red Riding Hood somewhere in here?
And James says, I told you there's a cottage in the woods.
Excuse me, James. Not to insult you, but are you sure you don't want to call this Gravity Falls with all the mysteries happening here?
What is Gravity Falls?
Dear Lord, you don't. Oh. Entertainment, children's cartoon.
Oh, I didn't watch many cartoons growing up. Mother didn't like it. She preferred I be in my room reading the Bible.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of uses you can use for a Bible. Kindling, paperweight. Makeshift weapon, whatever you need it for.
Oh, it was very good kindling.
And I still want to know what you meant by the term chimera.
Ask
You
James.
said chimerical.
James would know about it, is all she says.
Oh, I said it wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. How do you guys pronounce it? Oh.
Repeat after me. Hi. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Anyways, Valkyrie, unique name, by the way, especially given your tendency of reading the Bible. You seem to
Bible.
read the Bible. Thank you. What version? King James?
It was in Latin. That's all I really remember about it.
You seem to know an awful lot. Like, an awful lot about things.
Again, I listen and I read.
Well, so, were these stairs in your Bible? Maybe that's where I missed it.
These stairs could be in one form of religious text I've read. But why would I tell you?
Why would you? I thought we were just having a simple dialogue.
I mean, there's stairs that led to a castle that no one else knew about. Time moved differently at. She kind of like the stern look she shoots James. I think we can all guess what happened.
But you did give us a heads up on not to eat and drink. So what was with that?
Have you never read a fairy tale? Or the legend of the underworld?
Sorry, I'm too busy. too busy watching children's cartoons to understand that.
A good reference of why I put that. In the story of when Hades kidnapped his niece and forced her to marry him, the only reason he was able to keep her for the term of winter was because she ate a single seed from the underworld instead of following the rule and not eating or drinking anything. It's basic knowledge. You don't know your enemy and your location, don't interact with it. She'll look over at James and she goes, "Do you have an herb that can help me relax some?"
He looks at you and he goes, "Now we're speaking my language." And he kind of twirls his finger around and points and he goes, "We are going that way." And he starts walking and he says, "You prefer tea, ingestible, smokable, short term, long term?"
Short term, even if I want to make them quieter, I still need to hear them. I can't keep the cog turning if I can't hear them, she'll mutter as she follows him.
He kind of shakes his head a little bit and he says, "Well, then
Perhaps tea would be best.
best option is probably going to be a tea. It'll work out of your system relatively quickly. Comes
Perhaps
into effect rather fast. And you can vary the dosage by how long you let it steep."
Well, perhaps while I get some tea from you, we can talk over it about the stairs and what to do with them. She'll kind of motion at Rat and them as she says that.
He says, "Well, we'll get some teas put together and I'll give you a sample glass and proceed from there. But I'm going to gather that this group is not one to partake of mood-altering substances."
Be good or bad.
Where's Fiona right now?
She's still by the stairs and she says, "I think we need to put up something more clear signage."
Rat's gonna walk over to her and say, Fiona, you said something interesting. You said to connections to the other worlds. Is that what I heard?
Well, we try to inspire imagination and connect those with days past and the truth behind the fairy tales. And
So are you saying then that the castle up there is your creation?
she says, "Oh no, it's none of it is created. We don't create other realms. We don't create the worlds that came before. Sometimes we can connect with them."
So had we not come to see you, what would have happened? How long would you have stayed?
She shrugs and says, "I suppose that depends what kind of beds they had and what was for breakfast, and get to know them a bit better."
What do you know about them? These individuals. What do you know of them?
She says, "Well, a lot of them have a lot of legends have their roots in their stories and histories."
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying wherever in this park that you have, I could go to other worlds. Is that what I'm hearing right?
Well, this is the first time we've ever had an actual physical co-location type. Normally we, it's more of a metaphorical get to other worlds.
Aye.
Like a museum might transport you to some other time or place, but
Huh. So you're saying you didn't know anybody that was up in the castle?
not initially. Yeah, as I said, I chatted with some of them, got to know names, and
Huh. So what do you plan to do now that these stairs lead to an interesting place?
she says, "Well, I assume I'm going to have to put up a velvet rope and a warning sign first and foremost. Certainly can't have just anyone wandering in there."
But what if you run into those who are quite curious?
Well, again, there are some people who just aren't qualified to go in there.
Rat's gonna look around to see if Abby's returned yet, or if she's still gone.
Still gone.
So Rat's gonna turn to Fiona and is like, "Do you have a moment that I could go back up there and just, try to retrieve my friend?"
I think before we can let anyone else in, we need to better document what's going on exactly and have some plans. We don't want you ending up missing too. We'll put something together, though.
Rat's just gonna say, "Don't worry about me. No one's gonna miss me anyways." So I want to make sure that I just want to make sure my friend's okay.
She chuckles and says, "Your friend's probably better equipped for that environment than anyone else."
I guess I just never had a chance to learn all about these fairy tales.
I don't know about all of them, although I know quite a few. What I do know is inability to hear makes it hard for them to enthrall you.
How long have you guys had this open? How long has Fairyland been open?
James and I started it. Well, it started out with a workshop. He carved many carvings, built wooden windmills, and we began to decorate them. They became more elaborate, and then it was a storefront. Then it became more of an open air market, sort of a knick-knack shop, so to speak. And then as it continued to expand, as pieces got bigger and more elaborate, and others couldn't afford to maintain or purchase them all the time, then we turned it into a museum.
No, well, how long ago did you purchase this property?
This exact one was over 20 years ago.
And you're saying in this 20 years, this is the first time something like that has happened?
Yeah, we generally don't have a lot of randomly appearing architecture.
Or mysterious stairs that just appear out of nowhere.
No, as I said, architecture.
Do you know who used to own this property before you?
I would have to check some of the records, but I think it's just kind of floated around. There was a junkyard at one time.
Well, the only reason I bring that up is James mentioned that a lot of strange things have happened here. And it just makes me curious about the property.
Well, I'm sure it's... Of course, this is a city of strange things.
Well, that's definitely true.
She says, I must... I want to make sure I get these barricades up before I let Jim know he can reopen the gates. We don't want anyone wandering up by mistake.
I still would really, honestly, like to go and retrieve my friend before you put these barricades. Put up the barricades.
Well, if, we've established that it's dangerous, I can't be letting other people go up there till we figure out what's going on, unfortunately. But if your friend comes down, we'll make sure we leave a note for her.
Well, hold on. Who said it was dangerous? I was already up there. Clearly, there was no danger.
Well, we also were up there. Well, I was up there for over 3 days. That's a danger in and of itself.
Possibly, but the other point is, you did say to go back for dessert. I'm always game for dessert.
Well, as I said, that's a possibility, but I certainly will not be going up
And I'm not asking
until I get this secured.
Yeah. Is there any way I can at least convince you to let me go up and check, and then I'll come right back down?
She kind of smirks and says, I believe your friend said she would be right back, too, before she went up.
That she did.
Well, if you knew her, she likes to get lost in thought often.
Well, be that as it may, unfortunately, for a number of reasons, not the least of which is my insurance liability, I can't be letting anyone else up there until I get things established and put together proper safety protocols.
Do you have any liability waivers I can sign? I really do want to check on my friend.
She kind of smirks and says, I'm sorry, liability waivers indicating that we assume no risks when you enter a strange castle in the sky are not something I keep printed up readily.
No, but liability risk is saying anything that may happen to my persons while on your property, you're not going to be held responsible for, regardless if it goes in a strange castle in the sky.
Well, again, I can understand where you're coming from with your friend, but unfortunately I can't let anyone else back up there. We will see what what we can do once we've put something together.
Rat's going to turn to Air and it's like, Air, are you going to say or do anything? You're just going to let Abby wander aimlessly?
We have a pack link for a reason. We want back here. Probably want to follow their rules.
Oh, no, I'm not going to. And Fiona, please, I mean disrespect. I'm not planning to. I'm going to respect your wishes, and I'm not going up there without your permission. I want you to know that.
And she kind of nods and says, well, if you can leave a way to contact you, I can let you know as soon as we have safety protocols in place and some more information.
Hold on. So Rat's going to take a scrap or a piece of paper and write down the telephone number she has. It says, if you happen to run into my friend and see her, please give me a call as soon as possible.
She says, I can certainly do that.
And I don't know about you, Air, but it does look like we probably should be letting them do their business.
I'm sure they will indeed have their business to attend to, and she kind of sits quietly for a second, focusing.
Is Abby getting pack link messages?
She would be, but they seem to be coming in literally like all at once.
Even though I'm the only one that said something to her.
Well, right, but like your words are like sped up.
Wouldn't mine be sped up coming out and hers be slowed down coming in?
No, because your 1 second is an hour to them.
Right.
So something you say in a second, they hear over the course of an hour. Something they say they would have to take an hour to say a sentence for it to sound like 1 second to you. You can still follow the gist of it because it's a pack link, but it's, I mean, like in your head, you're kind of getting like a Alvin the Chipmunk voice talking like he just did a line of coke.
Valkyrie is so enjoying her moment of tea right now before she goes to the ash tree.
Do you have any other questions, Rat?
I'm sorry. I'm just curious. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
Well, that's what's scaring me is the fact you're not being sarcastic.
This place is definitely brings a lot of questions, so
Through the pack link, Rat's going to say to Fiona, to Air, are you not concerned that Abby's gone and who knows when she'll return?
but she points to her head. I can safely say that she's fine.
True, Abby will probably be running that place, before we know it. Maybe I can upgrade in clothing.
So I guess we're wrapping up since John's getting tired anyway. But as soon as I'm done with my tea, John, I will be going to the ash tree to do Shadowlandy investigation.
Sure.
Which I'm pretty sure Holly's character will want to go with me.
To the ash tree?
She already knows what happened there.
Yep.
We're gonna compare weird girl notes.
Alright, anything else we need to take care of here?
I don't know if Rat had any other actual questions, but Air's pretty confident in Abby's abilities.
Well, Rat's just going to say, Air, what are you going to do now?
Well, she kind of looks at Fiona and James. Are you going to kick us out, or are we just not allowed to go upstairs?
She says, well, I just can't have people going up there until we get things figured out. The rest of the city is open.
Let's go for a walk. Maybe we can be here when she comes back.
I'm okay with that.
Alright.
Alright, so you guys are going to just kind of stroll around the park for a while?
The Rat's going to say, are we going to talk to this Valkyrie person anymore, or... I mean...
She's already out of sight, so
yeah, like she's literally walked past you guys again, headed towards the ash tree, and she's actually smiling now.
No, but Rat was saying, like, to Air if we were gonna go back and talk.
Motions where Valkyrie is headed. That tree's pretty interesting.
Well, then I guess every time I'm with you, strange things happen, so...
It's a good place to meditate.
Oh, well, if we're going to meditate, I like that. John, what time of night is it now?
It's probably about 8, 9 o'clock. It's still pretty early in the night, all things considered.
Rat's going to look up at the sky. Is it cloudy? Is it clear skies?
It's relatively clear.
What phase of the moon are we in right now?
It would be... it's actually a new moon.
Okay. Well, I guess, Air, if you want to lead the way, I guess we'll check out the tree.
Air will walk over to the tree and she's going to pretty much do what she did the last time and put her hands on it and just focus on the tree.
The power you sensed last time doesn't seem as potent today. You get kind of some fuzzy images in your head, but they come in a jumble that you'll have to take some time to try to piece them together, so to speak.
Okay.
So what exactly happened at this tree last time? Well, you said it was interesting, so...
Well, there was a man hung in this tree. Weren't you listening when James mentioned it?
Yes, and unfortunately people get hung all the time, except for the fact that he lost his eye. Would this be a person?
Air just kind of half chuckles.
Would I happen to know this person? Have I met this man who was hung?
Yes, you have.
Oh, so it happened here. Was there another person with the dagger? Wasn't that also over in this area?
Was. That's another mystery.
So I say you should call it Gravity Falls. It's a great cartoon. You should check it out sometime.
Valkyrie just kind of sighs. Is like, I really need to buy a TV.
I didn't hear that.
I don't know about that.
You know anything about Fairyland at all? I mean, besides it's a wonderful mystery.
Who's
and was obviously solved. He's not in the tree. Still working on the dagger. But that's a personal matter.
John, Rad's gonna touch the tree, just to feel it. This is it just an ordinary tree, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty old ash tree, but
okay.
Valkyrie, cupping over her lips, is going to whisper to Ear, "Would you like to see how I see things?"
Air raises an eyebrow, but and then she'll give a nod. Yes, that would be interesting.
Out loud, where Rat can hear, she goes,
Perspective.
Should we bring Rat with us?" A sly smirk is aimed at Ear, by the way. What I'm going to do, John, is basically she's going to grab onto the wrist of Ear and Rat, and she's going to sidestep into the Shadowlands with them.
okay.
We're going to take Rat on an adventure.
I will need you to roll your Arate.
I will, and I'm going to spend one more quintessence. Da. Standard diff, or is it lower since I'm a death walker?
No, it's still standard.
So 6?
Yes.
Okay. Aww,
Because you're bringing people with you.
sad. That makes me so sad. I got a 5. Well, wait. If I spent a success, that lowered it, didn't it?
Yes.
So 1 success instead. Okay. I need to rememorize all these classic world books. Okay, so 1 success to pull them into the Shadowlands with me.
All right. You find yourself face to face with a black dragon.
Oh crap!
Interesting.
And he looks at you and says, "You should not be here."
Valkyrie will actually pull her skirt out and curtsy to the dragon. I go where the spirits go. I bend and keep the spirits aligning. I walk in death's hand and guide them to the next.
And he looks at you, looks at the other two, and says, "None of you have paid the price to be here, nor the price to see what is to be seen."
What price is it you seek? She will actually start to pull her knife out. She goes, I can offer my blood.
He looks around at the group and he'll takes a deep breath in and he says, "Knowing what price to pay is the first part of the journey. Sometimes you need a guide to get you started." And as he exhales, you feel yourselves all being blown back. And you find yourself being pushed back through the shroud into the mortal realm.
Okay.
She violently is like shaking her head. She's like, wow, I've never been forced out before. I've been doing that since I was like young. So
He didn't like us.
no, I'm assuming he's some kind of guardian. Well, that's how I see it.
And I make like a intelligence, spirit lore or something
You can,
in regards to this dragon.
yes, you can do a spirit lore. What is, hang on, give me a second. There would be an intelligence spirit lore.
Okay.
Difficulty will be,
I'll let Ear do this one. Because I can assume it's some kind of Shadowlands guardian, but that doesn't mean I actually know what it is.
I mean, I had contemplated a get lore, but I'm not sure, so I'm going with spirit lore because it's spirit.
yeah, I'd go spirit lore. Let's go with a diff 6 for you.
Okay. 3 successes.
You believe that was or at least a manifestation of Nidhogg.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. And she literally just says, You dog?
Valkyrie will kind of perk up at that. Wow, that's an interesting thing. You're fun to have around, Miss Ear. You too, Miss Rat. Did you enjoy the little short trip?
Oh yeah, it was fascinating.
You'll
I'll
love
be coming
seeing
back here in the future.
Oh, yes, you will. That's where we all go.
Where we all go?
When you go to the long sleep.
I think this is definitely a clearer view than the last time.
All I can say is not my interpretation of heaven.
Interpret it as you will. Or might help you to do some research on things of the folklores and such. She
Apparently.
looks at Rat.
Well, you're gonna have to direct me to the books. You know, it's not like I have, a large library of access to.
There's actually quite a few libraries and bookstores well enveloped in town. You just got to go look for them.
Yep.
I may have to come back here later and enjoy a conversation with him now that we might know his name. No one keeps me out of home.
Oh, so you live there?
I
That
feel
will make for an interesting conversation.
she looks towards Rad and she goes, I've always felt more comfortable with the dead than the living. They're not as cruel.
That I can agree with.
How experienced
you'll
with the
ever
dead
know.
are you?
Well, I grew up next door to a cemetery.
I may require your help at a later date. I'm unsure.
Well, that's fine. I work with the dead. I converse with living and dead, so, as you can tell. So it's not hard to deal with.
That's
But if we lose, how are we gonna contact you if we do need to go discover things once more?
She'll pull out a real cheap track phone. It's real basic text and call only. She'll offer it to Ear or Rat, whichever one takes it first.
Well,
I
I'll
will
take it
take
down. Well, okay, you take it.
A number and a name in there, and I'll text you from my number.
All right.
Alright, I'm assuming you guys are gonna
Go
go
in there.
catch up then, since you missed a day.
Yep.
Yep. In fact, Valkyrie will offer to take them out for dinner since it's been a while since some of them have actually ate. Unlike someone who decided to start a toast over there.
Alright, well, then we will wrap this up and go from there.
Yep.
So, thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching, for another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam.